Alright, Mr. Jonas. So, this is a video to support the photos that I've sent over to you. So we are right here on F1, right here over your driveway. So any of the circles you see are indicating hail strikes. This is a pretty textbook one right here. You can see that it's knocked out some of the granular, soft to the touch. And has basically hit that shingle, weakened it, where now it's soft, and over time, expansion and contraction of getting hot and cool, the shingle could potentially crack open, cause a leak, with the matting being fractured, and all that's and the different aspects of a hail strike. So throughout this inspection, you're going to see different areas where I am pointing to stuff that says Cali Cut or CC with purple, and it says 13 1/4 inch. This is the type of valley you have. There is a shingle right here that is a full shingle that comes up 13 1/4 inches. They lay the shingle down and then they run these shingles over. That basically was what creates your valley. So if we were to replace this shingle here due to that hail strike, or up here due to that hail strike, that means that we are having to remove this entire shingle and these, remove them off and replace them due to this being a California cut, and that's the way the whole roof is tied in together. We have some additional hail strikes here on F1 here, a couple on your ridge cap shingles, a few more across the slope, and once again this is F1. Now, addressing the box vents, you have 17 box vents on here that insurance is prescribed to replace. If you notice here, I've numbered all the shingles that have to be replaced or manipulated, and due to being manipulated have to be replaced just to replace that one box vent. So this one box vent requires us to replace 13 shingles. That being said, you have 3 box vents just here on L2. So you're looking at 30, almost 40 shingles just to replace these box vents would have to be manipulated, replaced, due to the box vents being damaged by hail. We have a couple of hail strikes here on your ridge caps. Part 1 was a little steep for me to get out there, but I could see a few, just unable to reach them. Here on F2, a steeper slope. The storm kind of came from back over this way, hitting primarily, the left side, the right side of your home, and some on the front and some on the back. So this on F2 shows kind of a great directional hail strike, showing that where that hailstone hit this slope and bounced off and caused some damage there. Let's touch on L1 real quick. So just showing you again, this box vent is going to have about 7 or 8 shingles around it. All these hip shingles, ridge cap shingles, are going to have to be replaced. Throughout this video, you're going to, in photos, you're going to see a lot of arrows over these hips and over the ridges. That is referring to the felt overlap that I'll touch on here in just a moment. So coming over here to L3, you can see here in the purple, it says Cali Cut. So anything that would have to be replaced on this would mean manipulating on F2 would be manipulating L3 as well. Touching on the box vents again, we have 19 shingles that would be have to be manipulated and replaced due to replacing that one box vent. Not even touching that one yet, so we're looking at about another 40 shingles or so. Coming over here to R2, we have some damage. Now, as far as I understood from the insurance paperwork, this was the slope F3 and R3 are the ones they were talking about replacing. I don't have the same measurements. He used an Eagle View and he referred to it as slope M. I just don't have that. I use Hover, a different measuring software. But that being said, F3, we have hail strikes. This one hit both shingles here. Circular pattern right there on both. I have one here. By replacing this slope, we're going to have to pull out this California cut. We do have some hail strikes on this one as well. Some here on the ridge cap shingle, one right there on the shingle, one right here as well. So I'm recommending replacing R2 as well, just due to now we have to remove this California cut valley and manipulate those shingles as well. So here you'll see where it says felt overlap. This is just kind of talking about that whole overlap on all these hips. Building code says that felt has to overlap a minimum of 6 inches. If we are replacing a slope with felt as prescribed on insurance, just like here, they said, I'm pretty sure replace R3, is this felt overlaps onto the back by 6 inches or more. I don't really know until I've removed the shingles. That being said, we're now manipulating more shingles on the back. Here we have some pretty textbook hail strikes. This is, the same hail that I was taught to identify about getting my Hague certification. And then here on F4, some light hail strike here. Got a couple here and here. One right here. Some on the ridge vents, ridge cap shingles as well. This one is a little bit more significant down here. So we also had some hail strikes on your gutter, on your flashing, and on the downspout here. So I'll just give you a little size so I don't have I guess I got my tape measure here. So they say that a hail strike will leave a damage 3/4 the size of the hail. So that's saying that's a inch. So it's saying about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. Your area received anywhere from 1.25 inches and up to 2.5 inches in other areas of the same neighborhood. So touching on R4 here, these are all the shingles that would have to be manipulated or replaced due to just replacing that one box vent. With the way this slope looks, I have a very good feeling that this one looks the same. It's just unsafe and unable to be inspected at this time without having other parties out here to help. All right, coming over onto the back, there's some damage to your fascia that I photographed. And touching on the back. The back in an insurance scope, I believe, said replace 36 or 40 shingles or something along those lines. So I wanted to just kind of show. I've got a couple of hail strikes throughout the whole slope that I've circled. Once again, not in that test square like insurance likes to use to slope out a whole or replace a whole slope, but just to replace these box vents. We're looking at about 8 shingles here, not including the ridge cap shingles. We have more hail strikes across the slope. And you can see FO is her felt overlap. Some of these jump in numbers, I forgot to do the ones on the bottom, because this metal flange of the box vent has a nail through it right here most likely. It has gone through this shingle, which means this shingle needs to be replaced as well. Going all the way across the back of the house, you have over 60 shingles that would need to be replaced just to replace the box vents. Coming over here to R5, we've got some hail strikes. I've kind of diagrammed out this California cut a little bit more in detail as well. So I can tell you this is an Owens Corning duration shingle. The way I can tell you that is they have a certain type or a felt support for their nail strip. Sorry, another hail strike right there. So this shingle is 13.25 height, 39 3/8 width. That being said, they take that 13.25, lay this shingle up this valley, and then shingle over it. If I am to replace this slope here, these hits on the ridge cap shingles, hip shingles, and this slope, I'm going to have to remove this entire valley, which means we're now manipulating more of these shingles on this back slope, just like over on the back right over here on the R3, I believe it was, where insurance prescribed. It basically laps over this ridge here. We've got a 6-inch lap here. I have to start a new video. 1 second.